And it's my great pleasure now to introduce you, well, I don't have to introduce you because you all know him, Larry Pickering. I consider Larry Pickering to be an Australian hero.
Thanks, mate. Well, I looked up what the council was going to consider, and I couldn't find the bloody word Islam anywhere. It was all to do with where you park your cars and how far it was from residential homes. Well, I might get arrested. I don't care. Hey, fellas, that's Islam. Islam's the problem. And there's more of them over there. Now, you're not supposed to say that, I guess, because that's in breach of Section 18C. Well, bugger 18C. Ignore it. Ignore it because it shouldn't apply to Australians. It shouldn't apply to Australian law. It should have no place in Australian law. We should be able to say what we damn well think, when we damn well think it, to whom we bloody well like. Okay, well, when I looked into this further, because this is the first rally thing I've been to. Me too. But I couldn't get over it because I know that where the bad things from Islam come from are invariably coming from mosques. So why do we need a mosque? I mean, how many different religions are on the Gold Coast? There must be 100 of them. There must be 100 of them. And not one of them that I've been into wants to chop my bloody head off. Not one of them wants to rape my kids or kill my wife. But every single person that does want to do that seems to come from a mosque. Why is that? Someone hasn't asked the question. Someone hasn't considered that these damn mosques might be at the basis of all the problems we have now. So it's not about car parks, and it's not about proximity to housing. It's about what we don't want to be part of our Australian culture. And until we're honest with that, and until these bastards in there are honest with that, until they are honest with that to themselves and you people who they serve, then we won't take a step forward. We won't take a step forward. Because even if you guys were successful today, and they banned the mosque, they refused to approve it, what point is that if they're worried about car parks and housing proximity? What point is that? Because within a month they'd have another site and we'd be here again. So until the problem is recognised, until the problem is confronted, and until the problem is dealt with in the Australian way we know it should be dealt with, then it's going to remain. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse. Every cleric, every imam, every mullah, they're all coming from the mosques. They're all preaching their evil from the mosques. Every single one of them. Who is the imam? Who is the mufti? The most senior person in Australia in Islam is the Grand Mufti. Now, he is the legal determinator of Sharia law. He's the guy that says what's legal Sharia law. Whether you've got to have that hand cut off, this hand cut off, you rape that girl, you rape that woman, you kill that bloke. That's what it's about. This is what this guy's about. You can dress him up in whatever way you like. But he determines Sharia law, the most evil of all laws in the world. There is nothing more evil. You've seen it in Syria and Iraq now. You've seen it. It's horrible. For the first time, these people over there want us to see what they're doing. Why do they want us to see it? Why? They want us to see it so they can scare the shit out of us. That's what they want to do. That's the same thing that happened in the Blitzkrieg. It's the same thing that happened in shock and awe. It's how to win a war with shock and awe. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. If you're going to fall for that and get scared, then you've lost already. Don't be frightened. Don't be scared. Don't shy away and hide under a rock with what they're saying. This is something that must be confronted. And until these bastards here confront it, we won't get a step further. Mate, it's bloody horrible. This, you know, it's come home to me, perhaps more than anyone lately. I tried to do what I could with the Bendigo Mosque, and we lost that. And we had some little guy called Wacky Zaki or someone. He was saying it was going to happen, and had just got back from Syria himself, holding an AK-47. This is Australia, for Christ's sake! What the hell are we doing? Why are we allowing it?
Don't let him back in.
The trouble is now that 80% of all Muslims in Australia were born here. Born here.
1 a year.
And that's a problem, because when they go overseas to these wars, and we are told there's 150 of them by this ACO guy, bullshit, there's about nearer to 500 over there right now. There's 1,500 from the United States, there's 1,000 and more that we know of from the UK, and there's another 10,000 from Europe in general. But, well, it's a good question. Why do they let them back in? I'll tell you why. Because they're resident here. You can't determine a person to be stateless. So this is bullshit about them going over there and getting radicalised. Don't listen to that. That's nonsense. They were radicalised before they left here. Before they bought a bloody ticket to on that bloody plane. They knew what they were doing. They got on the internet. They got radicalised in their damn mosques. All this happened before they left to go over there. Don't sugarcoat it by saying, hey, we can unradicalise them when they return. What a load of frog shit. These people are those people before they left. They left there with those intentions. They committed those crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes like we've never seen before, and then they come back here. We've got to let them back in. We have no choice. You can't say to a person, no matter how bad he is, that you don't belong to any state. But they can let them back in here, and yeah, they can take their passport, though they can't get out again, and then they can charge them. But try charging them. Look at what's happening around. No one's getting charged. No one's getting charged for saying, hey, I'm going to cut your head off. That to me is a threat. No, these hideous bloody pronouncements that the mosques come out with, they don't belong in Australia. They don't belong in Australia. But I just want to say one last thing. I saw a piece of video a couple of days ago, and it rocked me. There was this senior cleric saying, we've got you. And the interviewer said, why would you say that? We can fight you. He said, you can fight. He said, you can go out and get 4 wives, but it's too late. It's too late. Thanks, fellas. It was lovely to talk to you, and keep the fight going.
You gotta love Larry, a real joy of a man.